morning, everyone. It is currently Sunday, April 15th, and I have decided for the next 5 days or so that I'm going to do a reading vlog because I've never done one of these on its own. I have vlogged for Book Depository before, but I've never done one for just my own little mini reading fest. I decided to do this because my boyfriend's going on a work trip for the next 5 days, and so besides me going to work, I'm just going to be coming home and hanging out on my own. So I figured I might as well get some reading done because I have fallen a bit behind in my Goodreads reading challenge. So I figure I'll show you the books that I will be reading over the next few days and just see what I can hopefully get through. So over here, I just laid them out on the floor because that was the easiest thing to do. So over here, I have the two books that I'm currently reading, the two physical books that I'm currently reading. So Sarah Dessen's Once and For All, which I am like more than halfway through. Yeah, a little bit more than halfway through. And I'm really enjoying it. Very easy read, just kind of exactly what I would have expected from Sarah Dessen. Then I have Ruby by Cynthia Bond, which I have been trying to read for longer. I am not quite as far through this. This one I knew would be a bit of a tougher read. I'm reading it for the Book Riot Read Harder challenge because it's an Oprah's book club book, so it fits for that particular challenge. But yeah, it's challenging, so it's not a book that I'm going to breeze through. And then over here I have my selections that I grabbed from the library. So the first one I have here is a graphic novel, Monstrous Volume 1 Awakening. I picked this up because it fits the challenge of read a comic that is written or illustrated by a person of color. I've heard about this. I've heard positive things about it, a little bit of negative, but it's a graphic novel, so it's something I can hopefully get through very easily. And then underneath I picked up Saga Volume 7 and Volume 8 just because I haven't read these two yet, and they don't fit any challenge or anything. I just wanted to read them, figured they'd be fun and something easy to breeze through so I can get my book count back up. And then over here I have two books that I picked up sort of not with the expectation that I would necessarily read them over the next few days, but if I have the time I might want to. So the first one is The Child Finder by Renee Denfeld. I read The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld last year in 2017, and it was my favorite book I read last year. I've definitely heard more mixed things about The Child Finder, so I'm going into it with lower expectations. I don't expect it to be as awesome as The Enchanted, but I still would like to read it, so I figured when I saw it at the library, I figured that was a good opportunity to pick it up. And then underneath, I just had this gigantic coffee table book called Letters of Note, and it's an eclectic collection of correspondence deserving of a wider audience, and it's literally just pictures of letters and then the interpretation of the letters, either before or after. And it's just from all different points in history. And I wanted to check that book out for a while just to look at it. It's not necessarily a great one for a reading challenge, but I thought it would be fun to look through. And then lastly, I actually have a couple audiobooks. So I have one audiobook that I am currently listening to, which is The Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. I'm a little bit more than halfway through, and I have like 11 more days to read it, so I should be able to finish it hopefully this week. And then I also have Hunger by Roxane Gay sitting there ready for me when I finish Future Home of the Living God. Hunger is a very short audiobook, so it shouldn't be too hard to get through. I don't think I'll necessarily finish it in the next few days, but it's ready to go in case I do. So yeah, that's what I'm currently working with. I will probably start with Monstrous just because I want to get a graphic novel done, completed, out of the way. I can feel like I actually finished a book because I feel like I've been in the middle of multiple books for a long time and I haven't actually finished anything recently. So I want to read and finish Monstrous today, and then I'll see where else my reading taste takes me. I will check in a little bit and let you know how my progress is going. I have a couple things that I need to do today, but nothing crazy, so I should be able to get a lot of stuff done. Hello again. So it's like an hour and a half later. I have been reading Monstrous on and off for the last hour and a half, and I'm more than halfway through it now. I'm really enjoying it. The story is very intriguing. The world is very interesting. The illustrations are amazing. The level of detail in it is awesome. The story is very bloody, so I certainly can see why certain people maybe didn't like it that much, just because there is a lot of violence. But I am definitely going to keep reading it, and I'm just checking in because I'm going to take a little bit of a break to have some lunch and probably watch a few YouTube videos just because I have a bit of a booktube backlog that I want to catch up on. And then after that, I will continue reading Monstrous. So the next time I see you will most likely be once I have finished my first book. So it's a bit after 4 p.m. now. It's been a couple of hours, and as promised, I said the next time I would check in, I would have finished Monstrous, and that is correct. Here she is. I finished the whole thing. Very interesting. I really loved the art in it. The illustrations were gorgeous. The story was pretty good. I liked how it ended. I'm maybe enough to actually go on and read the next one, so I'm glad I both finished a book and finished another challenge on the Book Riot Read Harder challenge. I have now officially dropped my boyfriend off with his work colleagues so they can go to the flight that they're hopefully going to catch. And I laugh when I say that because I'll show you. The current weather outside, it looks like this. So yeah, and it is April 15th, mind you. It's currently doing this freezing rain mix, so if any of you live in this area of Canada or in sort of like the northeast US, maybe even like Minnesota and stuff, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's been a great weekend. Yesterday was actually my 26th birthday, and I pretty much spent the whole day inside because it was so awful out, but you know, not that I really mind that, but sometimes it's nice to like go for a walk on your birthday because April can have nice weather, but it's just not always promised. And that's definitely the case now. So for the rest of the evening, I will be reading here. Let me take you back over. So for the rest of the evening, I will be probably trying to read Once and For All. I don't know if I'll finish it. I read a little bit before I dropped my boyfriend off. So it's a possibility I'll finish it, but I'm not so sure. I will also probably be watching Netflix at some point. I will see where the evening takes me. There's probably also a glass of red wine in my future. Tomorrow I do have to work, so that'll be in the morning, and then in the evening, once I get home from work, I will figure out what I'm going to tackle next. Turns out I have terrible lighting in my room when it's dark outside. Who would have thought? So yeah, apologies for that, but I just wanted to check in and let you guys know how the rest of my evening went. So I got to listen to a bit of my audiobook, Future Home of the Living God, while I was making dinner and just cleaning up, so it was probably like half an hour that I got through today, which I'll take that. And then I also read a bunch more of Once and For All. I probably read at least 50 pages. I didn't look at where I was before I started, so oops. But yeah, I definitely got a chunk done. So I'm gonna continue reading that tonight before I go to bed. I don't have any plans to pick anything else up. I did watch 2 episodes of Stranger Things and enjoyed that glass of wine, so I would consider it a pretty good evening. I finished season 2 of Stranger Things. I really enjoyed it, so I feel like I made good use of my time. As I mentioned earlier today, I will be working tomorrow, but I will check in once I get home and let you know what my reading plans are for the rest of that evening. And in that case, I am going to get ready for bed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hi everyone, so it's Monday evening now. I just got home from work. I'm about to have some dinner, probably watch an episode of something on Netflix, and my reading plans for the evening. So while I was at work today, the plow came and shoveled all that heavy, wet snow that I showed you yesterday at the end of the driveway. So I can't get my car in, or at least I'm hesitant to drive my car over it. So my first thing, as far as reading goes, that I will be doing this evening is listening to my audiobook while I shovel the end of the driveway. And then after that, I will probably try and finish Once and For All. And then if I finish that and I still have like a fair amount of time, I'll probably start Saga Volume 7 and just see how far I can get with that. So I'm going to enjoy my dinner now, and I will check back in with you later. Success! I have finished Once and For All. I had like 50 pages left to go, and I finished it. It's around 8:30 now. So yeah, I knocked this off. I mean, it helped that I read a chunk of it last night as well. I also got to listen to like half an hour of Future Home of the Living God while I was shoveling the driveway, and now I will be moving on to Saga Volume 7, see how far I can get through this tonight. But first, I wanted to treat myself because I bought some caramel hat trick Ben Jerry's for my birthday. well, technically my boyfriend bought it for me, but I said if I finish Once and For All, I will get to have some ice cream. So I'm going to eat some of this delicious ice cream and probably watch a YouTube video or two before moving on to this. So yeah. I will hopefully check in with you one last time before Monday draws to a close to let you know how far I get through Saga. Just doing my final check-in for the evening before I get ready for bed. I wanted to let you guys know that I read about half of Saga Volume 7, so I will definitely be finishing this tomorrow. Today was a really good reading day considering I worked until 5. I got to listen to half an hour of my audiobook. I read over 50 pages in Once and For All, and then I read half of a graphic novel, which is pretty damn good. Feels nice to get some books checked off my TBR, get a few more books finished on my Goodreads reading challenge. It's really good for making you feel like you're making progress, inspiring you to keep going, which is always nice. For tomorrow, it's the same as today in that I work until 5. So I will see you guys tomorrow evening, let you know what my plans are for reading. As far as I know, I will be finishing Volume 7 and then probably just moving on to Saga Volume 8 because I have it, so why not? But yeah, I'll check in and let you know. Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna get ready for bed, so I will see you guys later. Hi everyone, so quick change of plans. Hence the hat, because I am just coming into the house and then leaving again. My friend invited me over for dinner, and then we're gonna play Sims 2 together. I don't know how many of you guys played Sims back in the day. I still play Sims 2, even though Sims 4 is out. I love Sims 2. So we're gonna play some of that together for funsies. And so my reading plans are gonna change a little. I will still hope to finish Saga Volume 7 and make a good dent in Saga Volume 8 once I get home, but I'm not exactly sure when I'll be back, because, you know, about to go have some fun with friends. Yeah, so wasn't planning on doing this, but it's a last minute thing, and she's making garlic bread, so I have to go. I will check in with you once I get back and let you know what sort of reading plans I can potentially tackle for the rest of the evening, since I don't really know when I will be returning. See you guys later. Sims 2 and garlic bread was a success. I enjoyed myself a lot, and now I have made it back home. There's not too much time left tonight before I would typically get ready for bed, so I might push it a little bit later than normal, but I definitely want to finish Saga Volume 7 and just see where I am and maybe start Volume 8. Depending on how late it is, once I really get things rolling, I might not check in until tomorrow, but if I'm feeling up for it, I'll give you one last shout before I go to bed. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Once again, I'm working until 5. I don't have any plans as of right now, but the plans for today kind of came out of nowhere as well. So I will certainly be finishing Saga Volume 8 tomorrow if I can't finish it tonight. I did also get a little bit of listening of my audiobook done, not that much time, like maybe 20 minutes, but I did make a little bit of a dent in it, so slowly making my way through Future Home of the Living God, just kind of as I was doing random things around the house before I left and just when I came back now. So hopefully I can stay awake long enough to make some good progress, and if I don't see you guys later tonight, I will see you tomorrow. Morning! Last night I decided not to film another snippet. I just got really tired when I was reading it and I wanted to go to bed. And since I have a few minutes this morning before I need to leave for work, figured I'd fill you in. So I managed to finish Saga Volume 7 last night. It was pretty fast to finish it, actually. Even just comparing it to Monstrous, which is the other graphic novel that I read earlier, there's just less text in it, so it's just so much faster to read. I did enjoy this one. There were certain aspects of the story that were actually they kind of, you know, they hurt the heart a little bit. But at the same time, it's been so long since I've read Volume 6 that I feel like there was, if I had read them all back to back, it probably would have been much more impactful, but I still did enjoy it. And then I did start Saga Volume 8, and this one, I've only got like a fourth of the way through it, and then I started to feel tired. So I will definitely be finishing this one tonight, and I'll figure out what else I'm going to read when I get home later, so I will see you then. I'm now home from work, and it's actually a decent temperature outside. Not sunny, but not unpleasant, so I think I'm gonna go for a walk and listen to Future Home of the Living God while I do that, just because I feel like I've been cooped up inside these past few days. We were on such a good trajectory to get into spring. The weather was getting warmer, the sun was out a lot, and then we had this stupid freezing rain storm thing, and now it's just disgusting outside. But I think it's worth it, so I'm gonna do that. And then when I get back, I'll have some dinner, and then I will definitely finish Saga Volume 8, and then I'll try and probably read some of Ruby. That's the book that I've been struggling with a little bit. I'll see if I can convince myself to read that. Otherwise, I might just start The Child Finder because it's a library book and I only have it for a certain amount of time anyway. But I'll see how I'm feeling. But yeah, looking forward to getting some decent listening in on my audiobook, since normally when I do go out for walks or for runs, I listen to audiobooks and podcasts now because I'm trying to like make better use of my time. So I'll finally get to go on a walk and actually get a chunk of listening in. Yeah, so I will check back in with you guys a little bit later tonight.
Good care of you, says Hiro. How come you've looked after me? I ask Hiro just as he's about to go. How come you found me at the hospital, brought me the messages? Hiro looks surprised at my question, taken aback, as though I should know. You were on my route, he says. We're settled in our cage, wearing the heavy boots and jackets. Mom folds the movers quilt so they fit inside the hammocks.
Good evening. It's a bit later now. I ended up getting about 40 minutes of my audiobook listened to on my walk, and then I also was listening to it while I was making dinner and just puttering around the house. So I actually ended up listening to over an hour and a half of it today, which is great because that's definitely the most significant chunk I've been able to do in probably the last week or so. I also finished Saga Volume 8. Really enjoyed this cover, by the way. This was good too. I'd say Volume 7 had more of an emotional punch for me, but I liked the world that we were introduced to in this one, the specific planet that they spent a chunk of time on, and we also got to see some characters that we hadn't seen in a while, which I enjoyed as well. I'm thinking it'll probably be 3 stars, but I haven't totally decided yet, so I'll sleep on it, see what I feel like rating it. As for the rest of the evening, I will be getting ready for bed soon because it is getting kind of late, and then I think I will probably start reading The Child Finder, and just see how much I can get through before I start falling asleep. Tomorrow I will once again be working until 5, and I will definitely be reading some of The Child Finder no matter how far I get tonight, and hopefully listening to a bit more of my audiobook. Tomorrow's my last official day of the reading vlog because my boyfriend comes home on Friday, but you never know, maybe I'll end up reading a chunk on Friday as well, and I'll just throw it onto this vlog because why not? I'd also like to point out that I'm been wearing my Ravenclaw sweater this evening to sort of give me some literary inspiration. I could have gotten more read today, but I ended up FaceTiming with my sister for about an hour. I got some presents in the mail for my family because my birthday was last weekend, and I didn't really want to open them by myself since no one else is here. It just felt weird, so I FaceTimed with her, opened my gifts, and then of course we ended up talking for a while. So yeah, could have gotten a bit more read, but that's all right. I'll talk to my sister too, that's fine. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for the evening. I will check in with you guys tomorrow when I get home from work. Good evening, everyone. I just got home from work. I picked up some tacos on the way, so I will be enjoying those and probably watching some YouTube videos before I read. I've had kind of a long day in terms of just like a lot of different things going on, so my brain, I don't know if it's gonna really want to focus on reading, but I'll try. The book that I will probably give a go is actually Letters of Note, this one, which is the coffee table book, just because it'll be a different kind of read and it'll be really easy, just like short snippets of things rather than focusing on a full chapter book. So yeah, I'll give that a try, see what else I feel like doing, but obviously I will let you know if plans change this evening or later this evening when I check in. So yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy some tacos. My 5 days of reading more intensely has pretty much come to a close at this point. It's getting late on Thursday, and I just wanted to set the camera down so I could use both hands to do a quick little wrap up of everything that I read to completion or read a chunk of, whatever it may be. So I managed to read 3 graphic novels start to finish, which is great. I mean, I purposely wanted to pick books that I could breeze through, and these were definitely that. Monstrous was great, actually. Like, it was a solid read. I am debating going with the series. Saga, these were fun. There were moments that I liked, moments that I didn't like. If you're already this invested in the series up to this point, you're going to read 7 and 8. It's not a huge time commitment. And I also read about half of Once and For All, which is great because I had been kind of slowly making my way through this book, so I'm glad I finished it. It's not my favorite Sarah Dessen, but it still had some touching moments, even if I didn't really love all of the characters and the romance itself. I also read a very tiny bit of The Childfinder and a small bit of Letters of Note, just the first like 20 pages of each, nothing significant. The last thing that I am going to do tonight, though, is I do want to finish Future Home of the Living God, so I have 35 minutes and 40 seconds left. I've listened to at least half of it during my 5 days of reading more intensely, so I want to finish it. That'll be the last thing that I do, so even though it's not done right now, I will definitely have listened to the last 35 minutes before I go to bed. I do like trying to find those opportunities where you have a few days where you're just going to push yourself and see how much you can read. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the context of a readathon, especially because those are usually a week long and you get worn out. Whereas little shorter amounts, you do a big burst and then you feel very successful afterwards. So I'm happy I was able to do this. As always, all of our links are down in the doobly-doo. You can check those out if you feel so inclined. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you later.